Hello and welcome to Adventures in Venueland, an EAMC podcast. This is your all-access pass to go backstage and behind the scenes with some of the brightest minds that cross the scope of the live entertainment industry. I'm Dave Rettelberger.
And I'm Paul Hooper. We'll introduce you to some of our favorite people as we dive deep into the world of live touring shows and the venues that host them.
A different adventure for you here today. Paul Hooper and a cast of EAMC greats joining us today to talk about what's next for EAMC. One of the things that, if you are a listener of this podcast, you've heard us obviously mention before, this is an EAMC podcast, and that's the Event and Arena Marketing Conference. And for those who've never been, it has been a great event for the past, many, many years, 39 years plus, 40 years, I guess, technically. But what's next? And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to take you behind the scenes and give you some real inside scoop on what we've got planned. Paul, we've been working on this for quite a while.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as you mentioned, the podcast is sort of a side project of the conference and really something that have been able to launch during all this downtime. It's one of those silver linings that people are talking about where, you and I probably talked to each other a bunch of times about this and at EAMC at the conference. And then all of a sudden during this downtime, we're like, let's get rolling on this podcast. So it's very much a part of what our EAMC, the Event and Arena Marketing Conference mission is, and reaching that audience. But also that conference is the catalyst that brought us all together. I met you through that conference, Dave. I've met almost all of our guests we've had on so far through that conference. So it is very much the connective tissue that sort of has held us together and this industry together in a really positive way, and especially during this downtime. So what we're sort of talking about today is very much something that we've been working on for a little while, and we're really excited to kind of dig into and premiere to everyone.
Let's make it official. We are excited to announce EAMC Virtual 2021.
Ooh, yes. Hey.
So what I'd like to do is briefly go around the horn and talk to each of the folks that we've got here today who are going to fill you in on what we have planned for EAMC Virtual 2021, and tell us kind of what your position is, both at your regular job, if you have one these days, because some of us do, some of us don't, and then also what your role is with EAMC. So Vanessa, let's start with you.
Thank you, Dave and Paul. I'm Vanessa Cromer out of Los Angeles with Nederlander Concerts, and I'm the Vice President of Communications. I am a longtime supporter and been involved with the Event and Arena Marketing Conference, EAMC, for many, many years, and kind of been helping out Dave during this time. I'm thrilled that we are actually able to present a virtual conference to everyone. Registration opens today. We have a great team of volunteers that are committed to keeping this conference going, and we've been working nonstop. And I want to thank all of the committee and the board of directors who have really helped launch this. So we're excited. EAMC Virtual, obviously we're disappointed that we can't be in person this year, but this is a great alternative. We have a lot of fun things planned, and I'm excited that we can offer something to everyone. So I hope that you register, and there's going to be a lot of surprises that we'll be announcing along the way, but register today if you can.
Hey guys, I'm Kirk Wingerson. I'm a marketing division manager for Orlando Venues, which includes Amway Center and Camping World Stadium. But on the side, I've been the VP of Agenda for EAMC now for several years, 3 in person. Last year, we didn't have one, and now we're doing a virtual one, which is very exciting, very different experience for all of us. Got a lot of stuff lined up, and we've had to pivot like everyone else during this last year, and really excited about the stuff we're going to have. So, everything that we have been known for in previous in-person sessions, covering marketing, PR, groups, social media, digital marketing, all sorts of stuff. Some of the sessions we're talking about this year are music partnerships, mobile ticketing. We've got some diversity and inclusion sessions. We've got some breakouts. So lots of exciting stuff, and hopefully some pretty cool keynote speakers as well. So hopefully you guys will register today and join us.
Hey guys, Jessica Runyon. I am client marketing director for Ticketmaster, working mostly with clients in North America, and also VP of sponsorship with EAMC. I have been working with EAMC for several years as planning committee and now exec board, and been an attendee for many, many years along with my team. So super excited to see us be able to come back this year in virtual platform, like many of our partners also looking to shift. And so a lot of opportunities on the partnership side that we're excited about, new things and talking to our existing partners and also new partners. And the virtual world has brought in some new folks who are coming into the venue space and working with promoters. So excited to welcome the new audience to our EAMC family.
My name is Paul B. I am the Vice President of Ticket Sales and Service with the Milwaukee Bucks and Fiserv Forum. With EAMC, I have the pleasure to be the VP of the DEI group, which is a new group that we formed over the past year to help fight the good fight for good things with our crew.
Hey everyone, this is Kim Allen. I am the Director of Arena Marketing at the Golden One Center in Sacramento, California. I am currently the standing treasurer for EAMC, and it's almost really full circle. I started my career as an EAMC intern back in 2007. So, to be sitting here on the board now is just like kind of amazing. And, to reiterate what everyone has said, it's a great learning experience, something that, you can take as much out of it as you want. So register today and get what you want out of it.
Yeah, it is definitely something where you get out of it what you put into it. And the woman right now that I want to talk to, who has put a lot into this, is Vanessa. Vanessa, we've talked about this for quite a while. And, we obviously, we broached the idea of, do we do something in person? But, there's so many people that are still out of work. There's so many people that don't have this in their budget for 2021. So let's talk a little bit about, kind of the thoughts behind a virtual conference and some of the perks of being virtual.
Yes, we have been talking and we went back and forth, and there was just no way that we could really physically do it in person this year. But we found out a way that we could offer this complimentary thanks to one of our partners, which is new, which is Event Hub. So registration is free, which is a great offering for everyone.
That's big news, by the way.
Yes.
Registration is free. And we have to thank Event Hub for that. That is a huge piece of this.
Absolutely.
Definitely. And because it's virtual, every single person in this industry, international and beyond, they don't have to travel anywhere. We're bringing EAMC to you, wherever you're at. If you're at your home or if you're working in the office, we're bringing it directly to you. And we will have a lot of opportunities for networking and sharing ideas and to check out the sponsors that we will be engaged with. And very exciting thing, we have a little gift box. So the first 200 people that register today are guaranteed a special custom EAMC gift box that will be delivered to your home in advance of the conference. So you do not want to miss out. You must register today.
That's very cool. I'm excited about that. We had a desire to make this free, as we're nonprofit. And a lot of folks are not in the best position financially maybe from a personal side, but also from a business side. So this was a big piece of it is wanting to make it free. And as we look at 2021, and obviously this is a very different year than what we may do in 2022. But it's important for us to make this accessible to anyone and everyone, regardless of what their position is within the industry.
Absolutely. And we have as I mentioned, an amazing group of volunteers that are committed to the conference that have been working hard on this. But if you are a sponsor out there, or if you have a great idea as a speaker, we're still putting everything together. So there's still time to get involved and reach out to us, and we can figure out a way to work with you.
Thanks, Vanessa. Before anybody even has a chance to tune out, while we've got your attention, we want to right away tell you how you register and the dates and kind of times of the conference. So let's turn things over to Mr. Agenda, Kirk Wingerson. Give everybody the scoop.
So we're looking at 3 days, June 8th through the 10th. So that's a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and do about a 4-hour block. And if you're interested in registering, and I sure hope you are, go to eventarenamarketing.com, eventarenamarketing.com, and you'll be able to do it right there.
You've done the agenda for so many years with the conference, been part of the agenda team. So what can people expect as part of this conference? There's going to be the same kind of thing where there are different sessions that you can get in on, and is stuff going to be recorded? Can you give us a little teaser, if you will?
Sure. Well, I'm glad you mentioned recording because that's all important. So if you are not able to join us on those 3 days, we're doing it live in real time. There are going to be recordings available afterwards. So we certainly encourage you to join us after the fact if you can't do it in person when it's live. There's all types of sessions, just like any typical in-person physical conference that we're known for. We've got everything from general sessions. We're lining up a couple keynote speakers as well. The topics that we're going to cover, granted, we're still in a pandemic. So a lot of the programming is going to be focused on, what now? The way we've been marketing shows and buildings and just things in general, it's pretty much quite different at this point in time. The messaging we put out there and how to go about doing it. So that's going to be a particular focus. We're going to be looking at music partnerships, also spending some time on mobile ticketing. I think for a lot of venues, it had been something that, maybe that's in our 1 to 3 year plan or maybe 3 to 5 year. But because of this pandemic, everyone moving over to touchless, contactless environment, mobile ticketing is no longer like, we'll get there. It's like, we have to be there now. So that's another big one that we're hitting on. And, just lots of diversity in programming. So, if one particular session doesn't resonate with you, stick around because there's plenty of other stuff that will certainly be appealing.
I think one of the big things too that, what we've talked about so far between you and Vanessa and all of us is the key here is flexibility. We know everyone is in a very different situation. Their jobs, their scheduling. We don't even know what June's going to look like. Like, let's say things are back. We know that those schedules are going to be crazy. There might be a million tours out there, hopefully. But I think what we're all kind of hitting on is there's going to be this great virtual session, but because it's virtual, you can join based on your schedule. Let's say you can only make half of a couple of the days, then attend those halves, but then you can rewatch the ones you missed at a later date. So it's all about flexibility for your schedule, but it's also flexibility for your budget. Because speaking as someone who's currently job hunting, I don't have the support of a job that can pay for me to go to an in-person conference right now. So keeping it virtual allows me to really flex around my schedule, but also not have the financial risk of having to, pay and, get a hotel and all the stuff that would normally go into a conference.
That's a really good point, Paul. The accessibility for everyone is key. And, this is a new endeavor for us. We've been doing the EAMC at home sessions pretty much throughout the last year. But this is like a consolidated conference over a few days and anyone can attend. And because the registration is free and covered, that's a pretty exciting development. So we're hopeful that we'll get a lot more people than we potentially would for an in-person conference. Also want to mention too that we're going to have some networking opportunities strewn throughout those 3 days, which is key. So if you're currently looking for a job or you're in a job and just want to meet more people in the industry, it's going to be a perfect opportunity. And one other thing too, we've done the occasional mixer in the evening, and we've got one scheduled for Wednesday night in the kind of after hours. And that's a wonderful opportunity to just kind of meet other people out there. It's very kind of lighthearted, engaging, and fun, and not so serious. So that's a great opportunity to meet others that are in this industry.
All right, turning things over to Paul B. We're excited to have you on our team. And you mentioned it earlier with your intro, but DEI and what this means to EAMC. So kind of would you talk about kind of what you're doing right now and kind of what your plans are for the conference?
Yeah, no, thank you, Dave. Was very happy. I think you and I even had the discussion mid-2020, early pandemic, as kind of the world kind of started to unravel a little bit with the social injustice on what more could we do as a conference, what could we do from a board perspective, and started the conversation there, which I was extremely grateful for. And I think that was at the height of every emotion I can imagine, going on. And then as things kind of continued to develop, the Bucks themselves starting to take a stand in the bubble in the playoffs, and sports itself, entertainment itself, starting to really stand up and try to make change and help change. The DEI group started to talk, and the board brought the idea up that maybe we need a group that's focused more on this. So some of us started talking. I was extremely happy to be part of that conversation. We started the group together, and basically this group, we came together and basically asked for volunteers who wanted to be part of the change, who wanted to learn more, who wanted to be allies for the cause of being inclusive, equity, and inclusion and diverse. So we started the conversation saying, like, well, how do we want to impact this? So we started looking at kind of three big buckets. The first one, looking at the conference itself, right? Like, that's what we're all a part of. That's our common bond, is that we've been part of the EAMC. We love it. We care about it. We've been attending for years. But when we were looking at the landscape of the conference, it was not diverse really at all. We had women, we had white males, but that was the majority strongly on the conference. So we started to ask ourselves why. And so we started that conversation. And some of it was, who we're reaching out to. Some of it was, what are the panel discussions? What are the agenda topics? So we figured we first got to make sure, how can we affect the world if we don't have our own house in order? So we started looking at the conference itself. So one of the main goals is to have the conference itself become more diverse. So how do we do that? It's one, reflecting, more diverse people that have attended in the past, making sure that as noted, simple things like making sure the website isn't just the same people, from the beginning all the way through now. But we do have diverse people that go. It's just if people want to feel they want to spend their money or company's money to attend, we think there's a lot of great information, but they want to make sure they feel welcome. So that was part of it. The other part was looking at the agenda itself, making sure we have diverse speakers from diverse backgrounds, talking about a plethora of things. And honestly, this being one of the topics that we could. And it's funny where, I guess not funny, but interesting that we were already going down this path of having a session when we were ready to go in Minneapolis in 2020. It just obviously did not happen. So the good news is, I think what I'm appreciative of is that it didn't just start because the world woke up and decided to talk about it. We had slowly been moving down that path. So now it's just our chance to kind of fast forward that.
Right.
And then the last piece is, the future, right? It's who's coming in after us, because all of us know it's not easy to get entertainment, let alone sports.
Right.
How do we reach back and open up more doors? Because some schools just don't have that avenue. Some people don't even know who to talk to first and how to get their foot in the door. So now we're looking at different programs to reach out to students, recent graduates. We've always had the intern program, but now we're looking at more of that, like more mentor program in addition to that. So those are just a couple of things and kind of the three big buckets. So the conference itself, the attendees of the conference, and then the future of our industry as a whole.
Yeah. And I guess to extrapolate on that with the upcoming EAMC virtual conference, that's kind of our first presentation, if you will, other than the at-home sessions, which obviously people have seen. We've had some diversity sessions there to kind of highlight different topics. So we're hoping to kind of take those buckets and take those focuses, like you said, and apply them to EAMC virtual, right?
Absolutely. So we've got a couple great things planned. I don't know if I can spoiler alert now, but we've got some pretty fantastic people within the industry that, because the beauty of it is that our industry, I think, really bounced back to help and to stand up and to not be quiet. And so we have a speaker lined up who started her own company to kind of help that diversity within her own industry, right? How do we get women? How do we get diverse women? How do we get diversity involved with the industry as a whole from an entertainment standpoint? So that was a huge gift for us. I'm very excited to have her. And then, we have some other things like the Impact Award, which we've had awards through EAMC, but this is a little bit different because it's been awesome to see what so many individuals and companies and teams and arenas have done to really help the cause. And we want to make sure we kind of celebrate that. And the beauty of it is not just a thing we're doing this year. It's not just a thing that happened just because we're in 2021. This is something that's going to be standing for a long time. So to keep, hopefully, things moving in the right direction, the momentum going in the favor of what's right. And very excited to announce that during our first virtual EAMC sessions.
Well, Paul, thank you for filling us in on that. And thanks to you and the whole team for everything you guys have been doing over the past 10 months, really, as we've been putting this all together, and excited to put some of it into action. So really appreciate that.
No, thank you guys. It's been a pleasure. Paul Hooper, Suzanne, the list goes on of everybody's been really jumping in. And it's what I love about it's a whole different spectrum of understanding, knowledge, information, understanding of what is happening. But the common theme is that we're all in to do, some good work to help the conference be even better and one of the hopefully innovative conferences out there that's doing this. So it's been a pleasure. It's been my honor, and I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Paul. Turn things over now to Jess. Jess, sponsorship is a big piece of this. Tell me how this whole Event Hub deal came together so that we could make this year's conference free.
Yeah, for sure. So thanks, Dave. And you're absolutely right. We're super appreciative of Event Hub, one of our new partners, now working with the EAMC group. They are our partnership that is not only supporting the platform that the virtual conference will be sitting on this year, but also offering all of our attendees complimentary registration, which is huge this year to be able to open it up to a larger audience and make sure that everyone's able to attend, and enabling our audience that flexibility like we talked about.
Speaking of flexibility, if you are ever considered being a sponsor of EAMC, or maybe you were a sponsor in the past, you've got, let's talk about it, because you have some great opportunities for folks who want to get on board.
We do. We really listened to partners this year and put in flexibility as well as unique ideas to be able to ensure that our partners are getting the value in this virtual space. And so we had to think outside the box, and we really incorporated opportunities to engage the audience in different ways and new ways that we have in the past, including both during session involvements or happy hours. So as Kirk mentioned, virtual event opportunities. Some of these are first come, first serve and limited. So encourage anyone who's interested in learning more about partnerships to reach out now, because we already have several who've been interested in and already signed on. And we also have a first come, first serve exclusive custom gift box partnership that Vanessa alluded to early on. That is where we're, giving one sponsor an opportunity to engage the first 200 conference registrations by getting a custom box brand opportunity. So encourage someone who might be out there listening to that. That is, as of right now, still available. So definitely reach out. Outside of the custom packages that we've built out, we've also built things specific to a sponsor. So that flexibility is certainly there, where we're talking to a partner and they have something that is really unique to them that they see value in, specific to our really venue and promoter audience. And we're building things just for them to ensure that they get max value.
Hopefully you've all seen the great video to launch EAMC Virtual produced by Bill Young Productions. And we're thrilled that they are a partner again this year with us.
That video was great. It got me excited about it. I knew about the event and I was excited, but check that out because, they obviously do the tour spots, but they do so much. I've learned so much about them in the past year. So we got to love our friends at Bill Young Productions. Jess, if somebody is interested in learning about the sponsor opportunities, and there's, maybe in the past it was too expensive, but there's so many options available for 2021. What's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Reach out directly to me. You can go to our website, but also jessica.runyon@ticketmaster.com, or, it's also on the website. If they're looking for that, reach out, let me know. Happy to hop on a call, talk through all of our options and make sure that we find something to get them involved this year and hopefully in years to come when we come back to live. A lot of new partnerships, Dave, like we talked about. Folks who are engaging this audience in the virtual space and not just Event Hub, but others who are also looking to expand and continue to work with this audience in ways that they have not in the past. So definitely, a lot of opportunities, as well as even just ad opportunities to get brands out there and new brands, recognition and awareness now, so that they're included in strategy as the venue folks are looking to plan their return right now and moving forward.
And I love the custom gift box. I know you all, we've mentioned that, I guess, a couple of times now, but what a fun way to, even though it's virtual, even though we're all going to be scattered across the country, to kind of connect everyone through this mailed piece. So when you register, if you're one of those first people, you're going to get something sent to your address that you'll be able to open up. It'll have a bunch of fun little swag items in it, and it's going to be really interactive. It'll kind of feel like you're getting that welcome bag when you come to the conference, which everyone enjoys. So it's really going to kind of simulate the conference as best we can in that virtual landscape.
Partners are really excited about that. I agree, Paul, and attendees will be too. And this is something that our partners who've been with us for a long time have enjoyed, being able to have an item that represents their brand or something fun. And I know a lot of folks hang on to those. And EAMC is an audience that gets really creative with some of that stuff. So they try to make it fun.
We've definitely had some fun stuff over the years, for sure. Kim Allen, I'm gonna put you on the spot right now, because one of the great things that I love about EAMC, and I think this applies whether you are there in person or virtual, is that there are great things if you have never been to a conference, if you are brand new to the industry, but also if you've been around for 20 plus years, as some of us have. So talk to us about, the conference and kind of how you've been able to develop with it over the years, starting as an internship to, your leadership role now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, coming in right out of college and just being able to go to the conference and get my feet wet and kind of learn the industry, it was amazing. I took so much out of the conference with the 101 sessions and just really realizing how much more that I hadn't even been able to do in my internship in college. So it was just eye-opening and just really getting my feet wet. And then through the years, it's, adjusting and evolving and learning about the new trends and the new things that are happening in the arena settings, in marketing in general, and in the digital space. In the time that I have started to now, like things have changed so much. And I'm sure that, regardless of when you started, you can say the same things because of how much the world has changed in this era. And so there's always something new to learn. And whether or not you just need a refresher to kind of go back to basics or to really step up your game and, hone in on a skill and be a better marketer yourself, we've got it all.
Yeah, I'm so excited about it. Kirk, when we talk about the sessions, when do we think that, people will start getting some details on kind of what's planned or kind of the schedule for, get into some of the specifics? Is it going to be kind of those things where we kind of drip things out a little bit at a time or a big reveal?
It's a hybrid, Dave. I think
it always is, right?
It is, because it's very fluid. We know the sessions we intend to do. So, we're going to be announcing what the sessions are. But one of the key ingredients is who are the panelists, who are the experts that are going to speak to these topics. And we want to get the appropriate people lined up. And that can be a little bit challenging. So it takes some time. So that's why in years past, there's always been a little bit of a drip, like, okay, we're working on this, pulling it together. And we're confident that all of these sessions will be wonderful when they're executed. But again, just lining up some of the people and some of the stuff behind the scenes takes a little bit of effort.
So many things to look forward to, with this conference. And of course, we would love it to be in person, but there's so many pieces and parts. This is an all volunteer group that has been working, throughout the year, again, with the EAMC at home, with the newsletters that go out, and obviously now with EAMC Virtual 2021. I'm going to turn things over now to my Adventures in Venueland co-host, Paul Hooper, who not only does this, but also is our communications guy. Paul, you have a little special announcement about Adventures in Venueland during the virtual conference.
Sure. Yeah. One thing we thought of when we launched the podcast, and we've seen other podcasts do this, so it's not like an idea that we created or anything, but we had the hopes to record a podcast live in person, with the thoughts of having some speaker up on stage, you and I interviewing them face to face, and how fun and interactive that would be with the audience. And although the conference is virtual this year, we thought of a way to kind of simulate that virtually. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to have a guest that we're going to have on that Thursday of EAMC Virtual, and we're going to basically invite people in to our live recording. So, right now when you're hearing this and when you hear our previous episodes, we record it, like a week or two in advance often, and then, edit it and get it out and post it across all the podcast services. But you'll be able to actually sit in and see how the sausage is made on these episodes and sort of like see us interview someone live, which will be pretty cool. And we're working on some really kind of special things for that, including a really cool guest. So we're excited, I think, to offer something unique and different in that aspect.
Definitely looking forward to that. All right, last call around the horn. Anybody else have anything else they want to throw in? Because there's so much information here.
The only thing I want to add is, as many of you who have attended the Event Arena Marketing Conference in past years, this is more than a conference. It's a true community. We've made such great friends over the years, lifelong friends, and we miss all of you. So we really are excited to be able to offer something to each of you and have that opportunity to see you guys virtually, and I hope you join.
I just wanted to add that, we've said it a bunch of times already, but it is free. The registration is covered. There's no risk involved. So come out and join us, and hopefully you'll love it. And when we get back to doing things in person, hopefully next year, we'll see your face there. Look forward to getting you guys on board.
Kirk, give us those dates and the registration link again.
One more time. It's Tuesday, June 8th, Wednesday, June 9th, and Thursday, June 10th. And to register, go to eventarenamarketing.com.
Very cool. EAMC Virtual 2021. We are just getting started. So many more big announcements to come. Thank you all. I'm so excited that we can finally reveal this and get this rocking.
A lot of work going into it and a lot more work to go, but wow, it's an honor to work with all of you all on it.
It really does take a village of folks. And again, if you want to know more, there's always more details on our website. You can follow along with our social. And I just want to thank everybody for tuning in and hearing about our plans on this episode of Adventures in Venueland. Remember, you can subscribe and find more episodes wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. We'd love your 5-star reviews so you can help others find us. Until the next adventure, I'm Dave Rettelberger.
And I'm Paul Hooper. Thanks for listening, everyone. Adventures in Venueland is a side project of the Event and Arena Marketing Conference, a nonprofit organization bringing together people in the field of live entertainment to discuss marketing, publicity, and sales trends. Find out more at eventarenamarketing.com. Audio editing and mixing by Camille Faulkner. Design and digital advertising by Megan Ebeck. Copywriting and publicity by Samantha Marker. Guest booking and brand strategies by Paul Huber. Guest research by Dave Rettelberger. Marketing strategies by Paul Hooper, Megan Ebeck, and Samantha Marker. Thanks for joining us. Until the next adventure.